Yes, guys, what's going on? Welcome to AdamMcKola TV. I'm Adam. We're back for the Premier League Gazette, the place on Monday where we go through all the back pages, get the latest news on the Premier League, have a little bit of a coffee and have a little bit of a chinwag as well. And whilst we've been doing these Premier League Gazettes, I've obviously been on lockdown. I've not been in the coffee shop anymore. And we've pretty much been getting updates on when the Premier League is going to be returning, if it's going to be returning. And today we've got more news on the potential relegation battlers holding the rest of the Premier League to ransom over this project restart. We've also got news on Paul Pogba's future, some quotes from Patrice Evra and all that good stuff, as well as going through the rest of the back pages. So make sure you're keeping it locked here on AdamMcKola TV. We have the Gazette every single Monday, and then we have on Tuesdays the Rumorator, Wednesday Master Debaters, Thursday Weekly United, Friday we have Straight Up MUFC, Saturday we have some FIFA or Footy Manager content, and on Sundays we have the Pod to Know where we miss me and Mr. Stephen Alston. And yesterday's one went up, so go and check that out after we're finished here. But for now, let's get stuck into these newspapers and of course the back pages, and let's have a little bit of a sip of my coffee and then read this one. You've little chance of big money move now. And that's Paul Pogba's bid to quit Manchester United could be wrecked by the economic impact of the coronavirus crisis. The Frenchman wanted to leave United last summer, was a target for Real and former club Juventus, but Pogba stayed put, and Juventus' chief football officer Fabio Paratici claims fewer clubs can now afford the World Cup winner. So that's what we've got there. Then we've also got here relegation ransom. Rebels will agree to restart plan only if safe from the drop. So these teams that are in the bottom six, Brighton, West Ham, Watford, Bournemouth, Villa, Norwich, are saying if the Premier League goes ahead, if it goes ahead and we restart and we're behind closed doors and teams are losing home advantage, this, that and the other, they want to be guaranteed that they will not be relegated. And that to me seems pretty daft. What's the point of restarting then? What's the point of restarting if you're not going to resolve the things that were there in the first place, left open to be resolved? The whole point of restarting is we need to know what's going to happen with relegation, top four. Obviously, we know Liverpool are winning the title. It's a matter of when. All these things are left to be settled. So if you then say, all right, we're not going to have relegation, what's the point in restarting? You may as well just scrap the league right now, because there's nothing else left to you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't make sense to be going ahead if clubs are going to, wow, our league position ain't really going to be our league position. Wow, what if someone finishes outside the top four? Wow, why does our league position count? We didn't have home advantage. So it's just a real weird one. Let's read it. Clubs at the bottom of the Premier League could hold the rest of the division to ransom by accepting a resumption on neutral grounds only if relegation is scrapped. Brighton are the first to go public with their objections to playing the final 92 games of the current season at neutral venues, after the Premier League said it was the only way the government would consider any sort of resumption in the coming weeks. But over the weekend it has emerged that those clubs against playing games at 8 to 10 hubs for the rest of the fixtures would, let me finish this inside as well, but this is the Express, so let's get inside now. Would, how much would the woodchuck, would immunity on the bounty, yeah, back the move if they were guaranteed immunity from relegation. With the EFL season looking increasingly unlikely to be able to resume given the difficulties in getting just the top flight games played, Leeds and West Brom, the top two in the Championship, would have a strong case for playing in the Premier League next season. It could mean a compromise where a one-off season of 22 top flight clubs could battle it out in 2020-2021 to avoid 5 relegation spaces. By cancelling the threat of relegation though, one of the dangers is that the final games become largely meaningless with only European qualification places remaining a live issue. One club has also reportedly told its players that participation while the coronavirus is still rife is optional, so weakened sides could be filled. What is the point? What is the point of this? Steve Parish of Crystal Palace has said it had nothing to do with greed, the decision to try and get football going ahead. Some Premier League clubs are already warning they face crisis if they cannot get back to playing, and the EFL, many more, may face extinction. It's not going to happen. There's too many issues. Here are the issues that they're talking about. Testing. The NHS need it more. Neutral venues, not fair. June the 30th deadline with players out of contract, and players do not want to play. These are the issues that we've got now. This Friday, just hours after the government made their next decision on the lockdown, the 20 Premier League clubs are to convene to decide whether they begin again in approved neutral venues. Will it be restart or no restart? And that is what we're looking at the moment. We continue that story on Paul Pogba here as well. With few clubs can meet Pogba's pay demands. Pogba earns 290 grand a week. Parateacher says the transfer market landscape has been transformed. Pogba is a great player, but something will change after the coronavirus crisis. Logically, the salary demands someone at this level would have had before are now more difficult to get hold of, or at least still have fewer clubs prepared to play. There will certainly be less cash circulating, and that is the reason why I don't think Paul Pogba will be going anywhere in the summer transfer window, whenever that is. We've gone on from the Express now to the Mirror, and the back page here, again, Groundhog Day days for Prem there. You've got something on Salah sold by Klopp, don't make me laugh. Salah's really been laughing about it on Instagram. Virus could scupper Pogba's plans, that story again. Pogba's bid to quit Man United could be choked by the coronavirus crisis. This is a story that we've been speaking about on here, on United Daily Live, every single day. And that's just been my general opinion. So it seems like, there's not much stories going about at the moment. So putting Pogba on the back, putting another update on that, will get everyone clicking their articles and buying their papers again. I do this so you lot don't have to buy them and waste your time with these trash. Premier League clubs have been told plans to use 8 to 10 neutral grounds to salvage this season is an experiment, and that it could be extended to all 20 for next term. League bosses stressed government and police had insisted on the approved stadium proposal in Project Restart, with all remaining 92 games be played behind closed doors. But it was made clear at Friday's meeting that if the test run goes to plan, that other top flight stadiums could be used as neutral venues. So that's what we're hearing at the moment. More on that Project Restart or Project Reject. What do you think it will be? Get it in the comments below. Project Restart or Project Reject? What do you think will happen at that meeting on Friday? Let us know in those comments below. But the doubters, Villa, Brighton, Bournemouth, Norwich, Watford and West Ham, fearing for their safety, of course, and they have every right to do so. You see clubs often fight relegation at the end of the season thanks to their home crowd pushing them over the line in games. Gunners bank on Henrik. Arsenal are ready to sell Henrik Mkhitaryan to help fund the low budget summer transfer window. It'll be a very low budget if you're selling Henrik Mkhitaryan. He can't be worth much at the moment. It carries on with Pogba will find fewer clubs to pay his wages inside. And we've got a story here from Patrice Evra. Fergie gave us a right telling off. Evra, the players sat on the bus after refusing to sign autographs, but Fergie stood outside and stayed with fans for 45. That's our story on Full-Time Devils, isn't it? We're done for. And when he got back on, he had... Speaking to the official Man United... That's our story, blood. That's our story. Once when we were in pre-season, before we got... I remember he told us that on the Full-Time Devils interview in March. He told us that story. But obviously, the official United podcast and the Mirror are 2-3 months late with that. And I remember when he told me, he said, I've never told anyone this before. And he told me, but they've obviously got him to repeat it on the podcast. And now it's their story, apparently. Yeah, journalism and people, eh? What can you do? But yeah, that was definitely our story. If you want to go and hear more about Patrice Evra getting a right telling off from Sir Alex Ferguson for not signing autographs on pre-season tour, then check out the Full-Time Devils interview with me and Patrice Evra, where that quote is from. What else is here? That's it really in here. The Pogba story is still there with those quotes. See, I actually thought Liverpool could be selling Mo Salah, but it looks like he's not looking to dip. But who knows? I wouldn't be surprised if they sold one of their front three to reinvest elsewhere. But a lot of the talk is that they're not going to have much money to spend in the summer, which again wouldn't be a surprise at all, would it? Because they're nearly furloughed staff and things like that. So when you think of that, the times we're on to now. Let's have a look here. Rugby on the back. We are ready to do our jobs. We trust our club. With Serie A players set to resume training, Milan's Asmir Begovic tells Henry Winter how he coped. So Italy enters phase 2 of lockdown today, with some businesses reopening and travel permitted as long as you wear face masks. The AC Milan goalkeeper Asmir Begovic looks on from his apartment, proud of the city's resilience. Milan has taken such a beating, but there is hope. Yep, they'll be back in training very, very soon. Again, Paul Hurst with that story as well on Paul Pogba here. Says Pogba's hopes of returning to Juventus look to have been scuppered after the Italian club admitted that they may not be able to afford him because of the financial impact of the coronavirus pandemic. Juventus, you've got no chance. So that's what you've got. Yep, you got no chance now. It looks like of signing Paul Pogba. I think the only place he could end up next season is Real Madrid if they somehow find the funds for that. But again, that's looking very, very unlikely. And the Times actually going with that story says a little bit more, doesn't it? June return for test training cricket. FA plans 75 million budget cuts. These are all the impact of coronavirus. Obviously, we're going to be seeing a lot of things like this. And top flight sport in every single genre of sport is going to take a hit in it. But that has been the back pages. Again, a quiet one. A lot of stories about Manchester United, as you'd expect. Paul Pogba, the return of football, the project restart or project reject. Let us know all your thoughts on those things we've discussed here in the Premier League Gazette today in those comments below. When do you think we'll see football again? When do you see we'll see fans in football again? Apparently it's not going to be until 2021. And who do you think Pogba will be playing for next season, whenever that next season is? Let us know in those comments below. Make sure you keep it liking, commenting, sharing and subscribing. And for now, I've been AdamMcKola. You lot have been legends. I'm out of it.